Hello there ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is AttenRisk and I am making a video today on classes. Now this is the first time in a while that I've done, C++ videos or the C++ Basics series, but it's back and I'm going to make a few more of these videos and there's going to be quite a few of them. I've been away because of Christmas and because of a whole bunch of, personal reasons and so on and so forth. However, this video is not about me, and this video is not about my problems, it's about C++ and the basics of this language and giving you an understanding of this language and how things work. Now, in this video we're going to be covering classes, and if this is the first time that you've, come to actually see this, if this is the first video of the series you've actually seen, then you will have a lot of trouble actually understanding anything. Unless, of course, you have some prior experience with C++. However, this video does assume that you have actually watched the previous videos. Classes allow for you to organize, variables and functions so that they cannot be accessed or where they shouldn't be accessed. So, I'm going to give you an example of a class right now, and we'll create one. Class core, which is the name of the class, and then we add the body here. We type in private, and then we type in public. Now, I believe that there are 3 options that you can put in the body of this particular class, and of classes in general. Protected, private, and public. I'm not certain what attributes protected actually has for C++, however I know that private and public should pretty much cover any sort of problems that you would need to deal with classes and with using them. So in classes you can restrict variables, so I'm going to type in integer the num, and I'm going to type in void set num. And I'm going to do integer num. Num is short for number, and we'll of course put a function to get the number. Now, classes allow you to, simply put, organize your program. They allow you to prevent you from calling functions that you shouldn't call outside of the class, and they allow you to organize and categorize your code, making it easier to understand and read. Simply put, everyone uses classes. Classes will more likely not be a subject in any university course that you do. I do imagine that many other programming languages use classes in one form or another, so it is important to understand them, understand the basics of classes so you can really get into programming. Now, in order to access a class, the functionality of a class outside of a class, you need to, of course, define a little, you need to define the class using a few functions. Well, not functions, I should say, identifiers or whatever. I'm not particularly certain on all of the terminology since I'm not college educated yet. So we do core, which is the name of the function, and then the name we want to access it with. We do function dot set num, and then we enter the number we want to set. So we'll do 90. And we will end that there, and then we'll do function dot get num, and we'll go ahead and just do num equal to num, and we'll output the actual number in the class so that we can, of course, see it after we are done. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and build and run this program. As you can see here, the output is 90. The cool thing about classes is, well, watch this. Function saying it's function dot the num equal to 0. What happens in this situation is that you will receive a compiler error. And it says here, core num is private. So the good thing about, you know, C++ classes and with classes in general is that you can protect certain variables from being accessed outside of the class or being accessed by certain functions. So if you have multiple classes, you can use the same variable names in theory, and you can also protect, you know, certain variables and functions from being executed in a way they're not meant to be executed. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what would happen if you were to move this number to public. You'll of course see that you can of course compile it and it runs fine. Another cool thing you can do with classes is that you can actually define constant variables by putting in the name of the class here and then doing this. Core and you can run functions and define certain variables, so the num equal to 9,000. Int the num. That's weird. So we'll go ahead and comment this out, remove that because it's causing the bug. And voila, we'll comment this bit out and we'll actually get the number. And there you have it. That's basically how classes work. Personally, I'd encourage you to play around with them, but they really are just a way of categorizing code and protecting variables from being accessed by functions that they shouldn't be accessed by, and they really just make things easier to understand, and you should use them often. That's all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'll see you all later, and I hope that you, of course, had a happy new year, and you got to see all of your families, so on and so forth. Again, goodbye.